Alright, everybody. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about how I got rich in EVE Online. I just want to say that this video is about my personal experience and my opinions. I think different things work for different people, and I just want to let you know what worked for me. I did over 100 billion ISK on the market in 30 days last month. And, the amount of money that you make in this game is going to be highly dependent on how much you're willing to play it and how much you're willing to put in. But I think that also there are a lot of really busy people that play EVE Online that are still able to plex their account, buy skill injectors, get rich, all that sort of stuff. So I didn't really want to share the content as I was doing it because I would have nerfed my own profits, I'm sure. Well, maybe not, because I guess I don't have a huge following or any type of following at the moment. But either way, market people in EVE Online are kind of stingy about information, and I understand why, because you give out your information on how you got rich, and then everyone's gonna do it, and then your profits are gonna dwindle, and then it's like you shot yourself in the foot. But the content has changed since I have done this, so I do feel a little bit more comfortable giving out information on how I was able to make a boatload of money. So, excuse me. So, I went from having 1.3 billion ISK in my wallet in September to October having 20 billion ISK in my wallet. Right now I have 17,723 million ISK in my wallet, but I also injected straight into an Orca, I don't even know how much stuff I inject. I probably bought like 20 skill injectors, and I plexed my account up until next March. So I went from always having to worry, like, okay, I gotta play this game, I gotta plex my account, I'm not really trying to pay money for this, yada yada, but I was. And honestly, let me say, I really actually don't mind paying for a subscription to this game because it's not that much, and also, it puts money into the development of the game, and EVE is a game that I want to see go as long-term as possible. As far as I know, there isn't a single running game that has been going on as long as this game. And the developers have said they set it up to go for the next decade, and I want to see that happen. And they can only do that with actual money. So, whenever I plex my account with ISK in-game, it's cool that they let you do that, but they aren't, getting money. Every time I plex my account in-game, I'm not giving them money. So, I don't know. Kind of mixed feelings on it, I guess. Either way, here's how I got rich, and I wanna go ahead and say, in my opinion, the only way to get rich and make money in EVE is be on the market. I mean, the money comes from other players. It's a player-driven economy, and you have to bring your product to market. If you're not in market PvP, get into market PvP. I mean, it doesn't take a lot to buy something or make something. As long as you have any type of profit margin, it's scalable. It might take you a really long time if you're making 0.01 ISK per sale, but you're still making money. The main point is be ISK positive no matter what. I found a product that had insane profit margins, basically. I was farming LP in combat anomalies, Triglavian combat anomalies. I was farming LP, and I was going and buying the tags for the rest of the... So basically the way that it worked is, in these combat anomalies, the tags would drop, and as soon as you got a certain amount of tags and a certain amount of LP, you could go and buy a blueprint. Well, I just worked it out with the numbers that I could just go and buy a boatload of tags off of the market and still be making a really hefty margin. So to me, the LP was actually the most profitable thing in the equation. So I just farmed as much LP as I possibly could stand to farm at the time, and I would go and buy a boatload of blueprints, and then I would chuck them off to Jita. I would buy everything to manufacture it, and then I would just put it in the oven. I maxed out all of my manufacturing slots every single day, and I would fly back and do more combat anomalies. Basically I became a hyper efficient machine at what I was doing. Everyone says specialize in EVE, and that really is true. I've tried everything. I've tried mining. There's really not a lot of money in it. Maybe with the mineral changes there will be now. I don't know. I've tried just straight industry, researching and all that stuff. I've tried mission running, which is pretty good money. I do like mission running. I would say the best money besides market PvP would be exploration. I mean, seriously, like you can find some of these these data and relic sites that just have crazy loot in them. You have to find something that is reliable and not necessarily entirely safe, because I lost a lot of ships farming the combat anomalies that I was doing before I worked it out to not lose any ships. You just have to be able to afford those losses, is the main thing. So specifically what I was building is I was building the Edencom ships. They were the new hotness. In one day I built like 20 Thunder children. And everyone was looking at me like I was crazy. I couldn't do a fleet fight because I was busy. I was like, no, I have to move all these, and it took a really long time to buy and move the minerals to build 20 battleships. It was a lot of jumping back and forth. And then what happened? Like, I think the day after I built 20 or 30 of these, CCP nerfed the content, and then there were no way. The combat anomalies, they took them out, and the price on all these ships shot up. So it made my profit margins even higher, because all I was doing was making these. I probably made like 200 Stormbringers. I don't even know how many Skybreakers I made. I made a boatload of the faction ammo. Just basically faction stuff is where it's at. But I mean, yeah, So I went from being super poor in EVE to not being poor. I mean, I'm not mega rich or anything, but like I'm comfortable. I had 21 billion last night, and then I wanted to inject into a bunch of stuff because I don't want to wait 70 or 80 days to like do something sometime. So and the thing is, once you get money, you can do other things on the market to keep making you money. It's like, it took me a long time to make my first billion, and then when I found something to make me more money, I mean, I was making billions a day, multiple billions a day. And I mean, now I have 20 billion. I really don't have to worry about money. I have 20 billion. I have a lot more skills that I injected into that I didn't want to wait for. I have an alt that has like 1.5 billion, and I have a ton of expensive gear that I bought too to like use to make my life more comfortable. I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. So I don't know. That's just my personal experience. I wanted to share it with you guys. I hope any of that information helps. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me in game. This is my character, just throw it out there. And, this is my corp. You can drop either of them a line, and we can talk more. Or not. I don't know. So, hopefully this helps. I think everyone deserves to not have to grind their face off into eternity to be able to get some money to move around in this game. And there are different ways to do that. This is one way. It worked for me. I would say make faction gear, put it on the market, and they're good. Find something that has good profit margins, and you don't even necessarily have to build the stuff. I mean, you can buy the stuff, resell it. As long as you have a good profit margin, just learn to scale it. I made this because I was spending 15 billion on minerals at a time and tags and all this stuff, and then making it all at once, and then I would make 5 billion. You have to do it big is the thing. If I would have made one battleship and then sold it, I would have made like 5 or 10 million. But it's a fine line too, because you can't crash the market. You have to leak stuff in a bit at a time. If you do it all at once, you're going to drop all the prices, and you're going to be sitting there all day long just 0.01 isking with everyone, as they say it. Now, you can't really do 0.01 now, except for on really small orders. They changed it. But you don't want to have to sit there and do that all day long either. So I was specifically filling sell orders, and I would fill them. They would drop a little bit, and I would wait a day or two, and until they started coming back up, and then I would fill them again. Also, building things out of salvage components is a pretty good way to make money as well. I was building the T2 trig ships out of the salvage components that I was getting from these combat sites, as well as the Edencom ships that I was farming the LP for. So all that has changed now. Unfortunately, CCP has nerfed the hell out of that, and I haven't been into the new Pochvin region, but I'm sure there is something to be done in there that is worth a ton of money. That seems to be the theme. If there's something new in EVE, if there's new content, head straight towards that. That's where the money's going to be. That's going to be the new hotness. That's going to be everything everyone wants. Figure out how to get the new stuff. Figure out how to get it onto the market, and specialize in doing that, and do it over and over and over again until you have as much money as you want to. So thank you for joining me for this talk. I hope that this video was helpful, and I will see you guys in EVE.